Hello, yeah, this is Stanley, the quiet trader. Yeah, actually, I just opened this channel just to document my trades. Yeah, and my forex journey. Yeah, so I'm just starting. So yeah, it's not that I'm a beginner. Yeah, I have been doing forex for like from 2024. Yeah, on September. So you can say I'm like 18 months old. Yeah, so on my propfirm, so currently I'm doing on my forex journey is on propfirms. Yeah, so on propfirms I started last year on April. Yeah, so that's when I started taking it seriously. Yeah, but at that time, yeah, I didn't have an age. So like the whole of 2025 was just finding an age, executing it, trying to rectify every field that I see that I can improve in terms of psychology, my age. Yeah, and I purchased 2 accounts and I later blew them. Yeah, but all in all, I just learned from it. Yeah, if I didn't have blown them, I don't think I would have learned that so much. Yeah, so away from that, so I just dive you into my trades. So on last year, I was trading like every pairs. Yeah, I was like trading Euro USD, CAD JPY, all the other things, but I later noticed that Forex is about doing less. Yeah, but the hard thing in Forex is that you have to go through all the stages. You see, all the stages of those like trying to trade every pair. You have to go through that process so that you can be able to learn about yourself or which pair have aligned with you very well and also with your age. So I was trading all the other pairs, even the battery came to remove them, the US30 and the X100. Yeah, because I noticed they were not working on my favor. On my age, they were working with my age, but they were not really producing really good profit. And that's when I journaled again, and then I noticed that I have to now check XAUSD and silver. So currently I only trade just 2 pairs, gold and silver. As you can see, this is just an account for gold. Yeah, this is a 10k account. In fact, this 10k account I just removed it from drawdown of, it was around, it remained like, it was, the balance was 90, no, the account was 10k and the balance was, I was almost supposed to breach. I think I was only remained with $134. That's about, even that's like 1.66 something percent. And you see, I have just grown the account from that to now 97.48. Yeah, that's around, I just grew it with over 6%. And this was just done with one trade. Yeah, so but this year have been very tough, yeah, because I'm only trading just uptrend, and that's my only age. So even if you're a beginner, yeah, just join me, we share this journey. Maybe I can say something maybe can improve you see. And also you can just comment or tell me anything. Yeah, but even I have tried trading the downtrend, but it was really having a high mental, like my mind was not processing on, like I was not able to memorize my entry criteria in downtrend. and that's when I switched to only trading uptrends only. Yeah, so enough of the talks. I guess I have introduced myself very well. Yeah, so I think I'll be just posting every not I think I'll be posting every Sunday a video of how my week was. So now for this we will start with this week. On this week we started from where? Yeah, on this week we started. I told you just I only trade uptrend. So on a downtrend, I usually don't trade. So my number one criteria is I have to wait for the market to close over. You see, on the 30 minutes. Once it crosses over, that's when I dive into 1 minute to check my entry, because for me I only trade using the 1 minute. Yeah, you see, like from all this period I was not trading. It was not my trading day. Yeah, so that time I was just relaxing. You see, all these days I was not trading. Hopefully that's the only advice I can tell someone is just make a system that you know you can be relaxing so much, not like every day for you is a trading day, it's an execution day, because it is tiresome to trade. Like many people can say it's easy, but you're not trading something that you use 100% of your mind, because every time you're supposed to make good decision. You see, you must enter an A plus setups. So for this week, the market crossed over, and for me, even I don't look for 1 hour, 4 hours, or the daily time frame what they are doing. My system is just simple. I'm just supposed to wait only for the crossover, on the 30 minutes. After my brew and learn moving average have crossed over, that's when I will switch to my lower time frame. So for this week, I entered how many setups? I guess you can see them. I entered how many setups? Why am I being confused? You see this one setup, second, third, fourth, fifth, and the disadvantage, or maybe they don't trade 1 minute because it gives a lot of entries. You see. So for this week, let me show you how. Let me delete this, then I will let me show you what I was looking for. I don't want it to show it on the time frame. Because I don't want again to go and mark again data, because I usually do this so that I can journal my trades, know how the week was, if there is somewhere I didn't perform really well, so that I can be able to rectify on my following week. Yeah, so that's it. So you see, after the market crossed over, that's when I started entering my entries. So I'll just dive into the 1 minute so that I can show you what I really look in. What day was it? Was it on Thursday? July 2. That's when I started my setups. So for me, on trade from my trading hours are from 9:45 a.m. to 7 p.m. in the evening. So between that period, that's my trading day. I know many people just trade a certain session, but for me it's from 9:45 to 7 p.m. in the evening. So if I find setup any between there, I can enter. Even if my setup shows at, let's say, 7:01 p.m., I can say enter, as long as my analysis, I was just waiting for a certain confirmation so that I can enter. So I can enter even around 7 or maybe 7:10, somewhere there, as long as before 7 p.m. there is some criteria I was waiting for. Yeah, so for this, let's say you can see this 11 a.m. This is 9. You can see the time here. I couldn't have entered this trade. You see, for my age, I only look for the crossover. As you can see here, the market crossed over the blue, the red, and the sky blue moving average. So after the crossover, I always wait for the parabolic. The reason that I put parabolic is because I can't be looking just for crossover. I want something that can be tangible, because crossover happen almost all the time. You see, even here, if I was following the crossover, but for my crossover, it have to be the blue, red, and this. Did I say the sky blue? They have to cross over almost together. So if you can say, like, maybe I could have entered here, I couldn't. You can see my moving average. You see the crossover yes happened on the blue and red. It did happen here, and also my parabolic didn't appear there. So for this, I took this trade. I pressed no. I could have took this trade, but you can see the time. This was not according to my time. The time was 8:59. And I'm supposed to trade on from 9:45. So let's see, when I entered the market, where the market was around somewhere here. The reason I didn't enter is because I could have entered, but at my initial point, you can see the price have already moved up. So what I usually look for is, after, because my entry is also my strategies for trading TP, I always move my stop loss to break even once the price have passed beyond this blue and red moving average. So from here, I could have put it to break even. That is, if I could have entered the setup where it was here, but I couldn't because my time was not here trade. So the reason I didn't take the trade, even if it was still valid, is because even if my initial point I would have put my buy position there, the price showing that the entry have already crossing at break even, so I didn't bother that was not my trade. You can see here, this is my trade. You can see the crossover did happen, the blue, the red, the sky blue, and the parabolic appeared. So I just put my buy limit there, and my stop loss is below. You can see this, the region. You can see this region. So for me, if we look below the blue moving average, you can see below the moving average, I just go just below it, the next candle, I put, that's where my SL is. So for this case, I just put my buy position there. I know I entered that setup. My stop, let's see if my stop loss could have been reached. Yeah, my stop loss could have been reached, and hence this was a loss. Then we just continue with the day. This is another setup. The blue, they have already crossed over, so that's my buy position. But on this case, my stop loss could be, you can see this, the blue moving average, so my stop loss should be below this, somewhere, not just exactly below the candle. I try to give the market some space, you see, because this region is not so far from my stop loss is supposed to be somewhere here. So for me, I just try to give it some pips. I just use my visual. Yeah, You can see from that it didn't take my stop loss. Again, this was on Thursday during the NFP. Yeah, and you can see here the market did move. Did the bull and red moving average, they went above my entry position. So therefore, I put my stop loss to break even and I waited now for my TP. My TP is, I usually wait for the, you can see, my TP I trade it using my purple moving average. And the reason is because I like that so that I can get the maximum of the move. So my TP is supposed to be, you see where the market have, you see this region, the market did touch my purple moving average. You see from this region did touch and the candle closed and the after it have already touched, I just count 3 candles. That is like 3 minutes because I trade the 1 minute, you can see. So for this, because for this it touched and the other candle went above my purple moving average, so my stop loss I adjusted to here. Yeah, just below the week, the previous candle. So in this case my stop loss was somewhere here, and that's when my TP was reached. Because let's see how much I did make from this. Yeah, I'm risking $11 to get how much? Let's see, that's around $9. 9 divided by 50, that's around, you can say, is it 6%? Yeah, around 6%. So that was a 6RR setup, you can see. Therefore also another setup appeared here. You can see the blue moving average, the crossover did happen, although this is my second criteria of my age. This was also a setup, so my buy position was somewhere here and my stop loss was just below the candle. You can see this where my stop loss is supposed to be, at this region, and my stop loss was reached. So on that day I ended up on a loss. Yeah, so and that's how I called the week. That was on Thursday. On Friday the market did open. Yeah, so let's see how many setup I got. I actually got one setup. You can see on this region the blue moving average I've already crossed over, so my buy position was here. My stop loss just below here, that's 15. And also you can see it crossed at break even because the blue and the red moving average were above my buy position. That's break even. Then this was another setup. Also this was also another break even. You can see my all criteria were formed, the parabolic appeared, and that's where I put my buy position and it across at break even because the price didn't move that far. Then later that day I saw the another setup. I entered, my stop loss was there. Not my initial stop loss was not there. My initial stop loss was here, just below this, you can see. But you can see later the market was not going on my favor, but I was just waiting for it to hit my SL. And maybe you're wondering why I adjusted my stop loss. Then later at the evening, another setup appeared. You can see it's not a must I wait for another parabolic as long as it have appeared at the first. So in this case, I usually look for the crossover, the blue blue, red, and the sky blue moving average, and then I just enter my buy. So after here, that's when all these moving average and they have really crossed over really well, and then that's when I put my buy position. But on that day the market did cross very early, so yeah, so in fact I have never held a position on the weekends. Yeah, actually this is my first trade holding on the weekend. Yeah, so we'll wait and see what Monday will do. I'll update you in the next video. So you can see it's just learning from this. So I can now adjust to break even since the blue and the red moving average are not above my entry position. So on that week I managed to close with $338. So if I'm risking $70, that's around for not alone, you can say 5% up. Yeah, now we can go to the 30 minutes and see the entries I took. The entries were all these, the one that you can see they have already shown by where I entered and where I exited. So I lost 2 setup, I won 1, 6 RR, then 2 break evens, and that's how my week was. So that's the end. So I'll update you about this account, but I don't think I will be continuing with this account because I just later found out that they have the consistency rule. Yeah, and consistency rule doesn't work really well with the higher alert setup. As you can see, just I got 1 move of 6 alert, and consistency rule says that you can't just withdraw money. You can't just withdraw more money. Like your daily profit should not be more than the 20% you're trying to withdraw. How maybe you will get it. Yeah, so and that's why this week I purchased a 5k account. Yeah, so I update you guys, but also I update you how this setup went. Yeah, but I will be now trading on another setup on my 5k account. This this is new, so I'll just be trading that. Yeah, and I also trade XAG. Then on the XAG you can see I risk $30. So even on this week I can show like how setups I got. You see on the gray region, this is the break even, this is a 4 RR, another break even, another break even. So for this week I just on XAG because I only trade 2 pairs, and for me every pair I just trade it on a different account just to prevent huge drawdown, number of setups in a day, to reduce the maximum daily drawdown. Yeah, so that I can't breach it. So for this is also an account, it's also a 10k. The target is 10,000. The target for this I'm supposed to make $500 to get funded, but it's a pay later model, which I don't think I will be just trading it because it also have the consistency rule, and that I figured out it doesn't work with my age. So again for this is kaboom. So I just hope I get money to purchase another account for the XAG, hoping this week I'll have both account, the two faces account. I already have one for XA for gold, now I'm waiting for just for silver. Yeah, and that's it. So let's wait for the next week. I hope next week will be good. Yes, I can see my next week will also be a trading day because the market is still buying. As on the 30 minutes I've already crossed over 11, showing the bearish momentum. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching.